Hey, this is Brooke from Business Backpacker, and today I'm going to take you to Bali, Indonesia, and show you what my last trip was like. One of the best parts about being a nomad and being able to work from anywhere in the world are these trips that I take. So let's start with my hotel. So this is the hotel I stayed in just outside of Ubud, Bali. So it's about a 45-minute trip from the airport. In my case, it took a lot longer because my taxi driver got confused. I spent about 6 hours getting to my hotel, but that's another story. So one of my favorite parts about this hotel was just the beautiful plant life that you could see everywhere. There's this nice hibiscus tree, and just outside of the room that I was staying in, you could see the view of my garden here. And there were all these fantastic flowers and wildlife. You could see all the roosters and everything as well. And this was one of my favorite plants in particular. And in the evening time, I could sit here and work on my writing and type anything I needed to for my business and get caught up. And then I was also able to see this gorgeous sunset, and I really wanted to share this with you because I just thought this was such a fantastic view. And I don't even know what kind of trees these are, but they were beautiful. And it was just about sunset when I got there for my first evening. So this is a picture of that. The next day I decided to be a little bit more adventurous and go to the monkey sanctuary. And this is sort of like an outdoor area where you can go and visit the monkeys, and they're just running around or sitting in a Zen monkey pose like this one is. And all over the grounds you can see the monkeys interacting with nature. And here's a mama with her baby. And there were all these beautiful sculptures, and there were just amazing staircases with dragons, and in one section there's these wonderful lizards that had grown over with moss, and this guy's about 6 foot long. You can't really see it from the picture, but it's huge. And then trees everywhere. This tree must have just been hundreds of years old, and the monkeys are all going around that and then hopping through the different ruins, and then you can see the temple artifacts that are still throughout the area. And many of the faces are carved to be like dragons or monkeys. And the art in this is just fantastic. You can see kind of a close-up on this one. And a great place to be during the day. The monkeys were hanging out with other monkey sculptures, and then some of the monkeys were taking on things a little bit more adventurous. Like, I love this little guy here that's ready to fight a lion. Also in the town of Ubud, there's loads of shopping. You can walk along the paths and then along the streets, and you can see everything from shopping to decorations that the town was preparing for in this festival. There's loads of art, and in the town of Ubud, there's a lot of artistic stuff for sale. So if you like paintings or jewelry or any of the handmade artifacts. And again, just walking around, you'll see temples just along the streets where you're shopping. I was lucky enough to run into this group, and they are playing, so I'm going to let you hear what they're playing. This is in preparation for the ceremony that was taking place while I was there. The next day I was feeling a little bit more adventurous, and so I decided to take off and explore some of what the wilderness had to offer in the area. And I was lucky enough to meet a person that is very special, and I'm hoping that I'll be in contact for years to come. His name is Naomin, and he is a person that runs a tour company that I'm going to help him develop, I hope, over the next few years. And I was so excited to be there and witness all of this beautiful scenery, and I'm going to give you guys some links to it so you can look it up later. But we basically left at 6 o'clock in the morning, took off to view the mountains so that we could see the sunrise over it. And I was fortunate enough to go on a tour of his village with him, meet his entire family, and get to visit their compound and see the beautiful things like the rice fields, and even learn about rice and how rice is harvested and made. And you can see it growing here, and it really is this green. It's just lush, bright green everywhere around that you look, and there's beautiful little cottages and palm trees, and the scenery is just absolutely breathtaking. This is one of my favorite shots here, where you can see the palm trees and the mountain and the rice. I just love that. So we went for a walk that started off in his village, and we walked through all of the different bamboo forests, and it led us through to meeting some interesting people that live in the village, and these gals are harvesting a fruit that I was fortunate enough to try, and that's me there eating the strange fruit. It was kind of sour and sweet and different tasting. This gal was walking along with her basket, and you kind of get used to seeing different people either with baskets or machetes, and that was something that was kind of interesting to see at first, but then you get used to it. These ladies live at the top of the village, and they come down to sell their goods and make some money for their family and then bring back food. And then this is the same mountain that we saw before, just from the backside, and we hiked up to this amazing vista where you could see everything from the top of the village. And one of my favorite parts of this was getting to visit one of the temples that was on top of the village, and you could see everything from it. So I'm going to show you a tour that we went in through and take you around on a little tour of what was happening here at the top in the temple. And you can hear the music and the chanting and everything that's going on. And all of the things that you see here are handmade. So this is just beautiful art. Is it okay to go up there? Can I go in? On our way back, we met some more friends of Naomin's, people that he knows from the local village. Here's a guy that is carrying along some coconut palms ready to plant. And I was also able to learn about rice and how it was made. So you can see that they have the different bundles of rice that they cut, and then they shake these out and they dry them on mats. And then the rice is still actually in its shell at this point. So after it's been properly dried on these different mats, then they break them open, and then they're ready to cook. And a traditional Balinese kitchen is still made by wood-burning stoves. So here you can see his grandmother and his wife cooking, and they've got the wood stacked up and the stove you can see right there. And we were able to have a beautiful meal. This was actually delicious, all kinds of different traditional Balinese foods, and everything was very wonderful and prepared by his whole family. And then after we had food, I was able to listen in on something that was really special. His grandfather and grandson here, so his father and son, put together this personal little viewing for me to listen to the traditional music, and I'm going to let you take a listen here. This is something that's only passed on from generation to generation, and listen to the grandfather and grandson play these instruments. That was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So thank you so much, Naomi, for opening up your home and showing me your beautiful country and letting me get to know a bit more about what it's like to live in Bali and living in a compound. After I left Naomi's family, I went on to the beaches of Bali, and if you haven't discovered the beaches of Bali, it's really something special as well. There are bright boats everywhere, palm trees, beautiful places to swim out to and relax along the ocean, and of course shopping and loads of places to relax and enjoy yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed my tour of Bali today. You can see more videos from Business Backpacker, and again, special thanks to Naomi for sharing his home and culture with us. Check me out at businessbackpacker.com.